ever wished you could, like, sit down with someone who's passed away? And I don't just mean, like, seeing them in a dream, but actually experiencing their memories, like seeing their life through their eyes.
That's pretty far out there, right?
Yeah, total sci-fi stuff. But what if science is getting closer to actually being able to do that?
It might be closer than you think.
Really?
Yeah, today we're going to unpack some research about memory. It explores the possibility of actually retrieving memories after death.
Wow. Okay, so for this deep dive, we've got this awesome article from Republic World.
Sounds promising.
Yeah, it goes really deep into this. And I found some notes on a study from Nature back in 2012.
Oh, I think I remember reading about that one.
It'll blow your mind. But hold on. Before we get ahead of ourselves, we need to cover the basics.
Agreed.
Like, what even is a memory? And how does our brain hold on to, all these little moments?
The first thing to wrap your head around is that memories aren't like video recordings.
Okay, so not like stored in a little file cabinet in our brains.
Nope, definitely not. They're not static or unchanging.
So it's not like hitting play and reliving something exactly as it happened?
Not quite. Think of memories more like constellations.
Constellations.
Yeah, like constellations of neurons firing in specific patterns. So when you experience something, groups of neurons activate, but they do it in a very specific sequence.
Like a, neural signature for that memory?
Exactly. Scientists call these patterns engrams. They're the actual physical trace of a memory in your brain.
So it's like, imagine a huge network of lights. Each light is a neuron.
And they blink on and off in a specific sequence to make a pattern.
So that pattern is an engram.
That's it.
Wow. Okay. So then if scientists could pinpoint these engrams, they could extract specific memories.
Well, hold on. Not so fast. Remember those constellations.
Yeah.
They're not just fixed in place in your brain. Memories change and evolve.
As we experience new things.
Yeah, and as they get integrated with our other memories.
Right. That study I mentioned with the mice. It really highlights this whole engram thing. The researchers, they actually pinpointed specific brain cells in the mice. Cells that held a memory of fear.
That's amazing. It's incredible to think that something like fear actually has a physical location in the brain.
Right. But so are you saying that even if we could find those fear engrams in a human, it wouldn't be as easy as just reading that fear memory?
Exactly. Think of it like trying to follow one firefly in a giant swarm of them. It's way more complicated and dynamic in the human brain.
So it's more like memories are moving through our brains.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
The Republic World article, it quotes this neuroscientist, Don Arnold. He explains that as memories get consolidated, they can actually move between different regions of the brain.
Making them even harder to find.
Exactly.
So scientists would need to know, like, the whole history of a memory to even have a shot at retrieving it.
It would be an incredible feat. And there's another layer of complexity here.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. We have to remember that memories aren't perfect replays. They're inherently reconstructive.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, think about how you tell a story from your last vacation.
I probably embellish a little.
Right, exactly. Each time you might emphasize different details or add your own spin on things. Memories work similarly.
So retrieving a memory isn't about objective truth. It's about a person's subjective experience.
You got it. Memory is constantly being refined based on who you are now, not who you were when the memory was made. We remember the main details, but our brain fills in the gaps.
With assumptions and our current knowledge?
Yeah. It basically shapes the memory each time we access it. So even if we could pinpoint that enneagram, the memory we got back might not be completely accurate.
Okay, that's crazy. So locating these engrams is one thing, but now there's this whole idea of using machine learning and AI to decode memories.
Right.
Could that be the key to unlocking, the secrets of the mind?
It's a fascinating idea. Really is. But before we get too excited, we need to consider the challenges and the ethics. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, a lot to unpack. And that's what we'll dive into next.
This whole AI thing is really something. It's almost like we're talking about a sci-fi movie, But like we said, memories, they aren't so simple.
Right. So how would an AI even begin to decode something like a memory? I mean, our brains are super complex.
Imagine an AI that's been trained on a lifetime of brain scans from one person.
Okay, a lot of data.
Yeah, but not just any brain scans. Scans taken while that person is actively recalling specific memories over and over and over again.
So the person would have to, relive those memories repeatedly while being scanned?
Exactly.
That sounds really intense for both the person and the AI. I mean, that's a ton of data to process.
Oh, it would be an immense undertaking. The AI would be looking for patterns in brain activity, trying to map how those memories show up each time they're recalled. But there's a problem with this whole idea.
What's that?
This idea of decoding memories with AI.
Yeah.
It assumes that memories are like computer files, stored on a hard drive. But they're not.
Right, we talked about that. Memories are always changing.
Exactly. They're fluid, always being rewritten, reinterpreted every time we access them.
So even with all that data, the AI wouldn't be getting the full truth, just a person's version of it.
Exactly. It would just be one interpretation filtered through that person's experiences and everything.
Yeah. So whose interpretation would it even be? The person they were when the memory happened? Or the person they became later, after their views had maybe changed?
That's the question, isn't it? It gets messy fast. Which brings us to the bigger issue here, the ethical side of things.
Right, the ethics. Even if we could do this, should we? Is it right to try to retrieve memories from someone who's gone?
That's a tough one. There are no easy answers. It makes us think about, our beliefs about life and death, about personal identity even.
It's a lot to consider, who would even have the right to access those memories? Family, doctors, the government.
Right. And would it be like invading someone's privacy to access their thoughts and feelings without their consent?
It's like when we talk about online privacy, protecting our data. But this is different, way more personal. We're talking about someone's entire life, their inner world.
And think about the potential for misuse. What if someone's memories could be used against them, even after they're gone?
Or even worse, what if someone could change those memories, make up things that never happened?
Exactly. It makes you think about how we define what it means to be a person, especially in a world where technology is changing everything.
Definitely makes you think. It also seems like this could really change how we view death and how we grieve.
Yeah, if we could access someone's memories, would it blur the lines between life and death? I don't know.
This is heavy stuff. So what do we do with all this? Should we just forget about trying to retrieve memories? Or is there a way to do it responsibly? I feel like we've gone down this rabbit hole, and with every step, it's like more questions pop up.
It really is a complex issue.
But maybe that's the whole point. This idea of retrieving memories, it makes us really think about memory itself, about who we are, and even, what it means to die.
It definitely challenges our assumptions.
It does, and it's been kind of heavy, focusing on all the risks and what could go wrong. But there's another side to this, right?
Oh, absolutely. People are fascinated by this for a reason.
It's like, imagine being able to connect with someone you've lost, hear their stories, see the world through their eyes. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. It taps into this deep human need for connection, especially after someone is gone.
Yeah. And I could see how, for some people, it could offer a sense of, I don't know, closure or maybe comfort, a way to bridge that gap.
It could be. But like we've been talking about, the reality is it's a lot more complicated than that.
Definitely. So what now? Do we just give up on this whole thing? Or is there a way to explore it, but, carefully, ethically?
It's not about giving up on scientific progress, but we have to be smart about it.
Take it slow.
Right? And have these conversations about the ethics every step of the way.
So maybe that's the big lesson from all this. Maybe the technology isn't quite there yet, but the questions, they're important right now.
We really are. It reminds us that just because technology can do something doesn't always mean it should.
Right. We have to make sure it's being used for good and that it respects people.
Absolutely. It's like we're at a fork in the road. One path has amazing possibilities. The other, well, who knows what could happen. Choosing the right path is going to take a lot of thought. A lot of discussion.
For sure. And for now, maybe the best way to honor the memories of those we've lost is to do what we've always done. Tell stories. Look at photos. Keep their memory alive.
Those are the memories that matter. The ones that make us who we are.
Well said. Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us. It's been quite a journey.
Yeah, it has. And as always, keep thinking about these questions. Talk about them. The future is in our hands. Let's make sure we choose wisely.